Welcome back to the ReCasted ReLoaded Show. On this episode, we have a guy that is going to talk all about the basics when it comes to poaching turkeys out of season and how to get away with it. I'm just kidding, but now I got your attention. On this episode, we have Luke Thompson, who's going to jump into his diverse outdoorsman life and how he found a love for turkey hunting, West Texas whitetail, and much more. Be ready to hear about Mother Nature fighting back, the reality of getting started in the outdoors, and oversized raccoons that can kill you. Also, don't forget to bring your gun to the deer blind.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is ReCasted ReLoaded. We're here with our good friend Luke Thompson. Tell him how it is, gobble gobble.
One of those areas down
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That side of the world. Yeah.
But
Not America.
Yeah. His Kuiu rain gear like shit out, and so he just got wet and cold, and had to get like called out because he went by himself, like just no guide, but he killed a tar, and it's sick, like sick. Badass. But back to the point, the do-it-yourself caribou hunt that he talked about, we're going to do that, and the spots just kind of filled up quick. Because I know you'd be interested, mm-hmm. And then Jackson's interested right now. But like what we do is we fly into Alaska, you get a U-Haul, and it fits only 3. And so right now we got 6, so we're getting 2 U-Hauls. You drive like 13 hours, and then we literally just like hike in 3 or 4 hours.
Are we getting a truck or a box truck?
Truck.
Oh God, I thought we were getting a box
normal,
truck.
like Silverado truck.
Yeah, like
I thought we were getting a box truck. I was gonna nap in the back.
The fleet GMCs type of thing. But you just hop in those single cab.
You just send the U-Hauls for like $25 a day versus a rental car that's like 80.
Yeah. But then it gets all
the whole time.
Yeah.
That's
See, I'm not skiing. Ooh. I'm good.
We'll see.
All right. So Luke, man, tell us about yourself, brother. Me and you, we met at Double J.
Double J Ranch. That's correct.
On the Pease. Whenever we were hunting on that spot.
Battle of the Pease River, Quanah Parker. For all you Texas folks.
Which is a very, very instrumental Texas story. That's where we met, Pease River, and then now Double J hunting.
Yep. Grew up in a small town up near Denton, Texas, north of Dallas. Started hunting from as long as I can remember. Started hunting basically all of West Texas my entire life. Started out in small town Haskell. From there, moved to Aspermont, and then now up to close to the Oklahoma border, up there next to the Pease River.
I love Aspermont.
And you did where is that?
About
south of Paducah.
Yeah, north of south of Paducah, probably about an hour and a half south of Kroll and Paducah in that area, and then probably about an hour and a half north of Abilene area.
West Texas.
West. 3 hours west of DFW.
Yeah.
Old Glory.
3.5 hours west.
Yeah. Old Glory's right by Aspermont, isn't it?
Old Glory.
Yeah, it's a little small town called Old Glory.
I know Hamlin and Aspermont is where our place was. We leased in between those two towns. Big piece of land out there in Aspermont. Great hunting. I think biggest deer killed out there was 193.
Yeah, big deer.
We had multiple years of killing, 160s, 170s, all low fence. Great time out there.
And you've always just like Texas whitetail.
Yep, grew up whitetail hunting. Did that for probably. I think I killed my first deer when I was 8. Didn't do really any hunting until probably about I was 14 or so, and got real big into turkey hunting.
Yeah, you did.
So it's a whole another level. You get to hear them, call them in, and see them work.
I missed that because you just went on. It was North Carolina.
Yep, North Carolina to Killing Eastern up there.
And how many North Carolina trips have you done?
2 now, 2 years in a row, each April, opening weekend. Last year in 2022, it snowed. Yeah. First time I've ever seen a turkey strut up in the snow.
That's so cool.
That is cool.
It's 28 degrees calling in a turkey.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Versus here in Texas when it's 98 and you're wearing the least amount possible.
I remember like it was whenever I first started fishing, I just thought like, cause you topwater fish, but like I was like, man, one thing I want to see happen is a topwater bite in the rain. I don't know it was like what it was, but it's just one of those things where it's like it just gets 10 times better whenever you're in a little nastier weather. But I mean, that's nothing compared to a turkey in the snow.
No,
for us Texas fellas.
Yeah, no, we don't see snow much here at all in Texas.
No,
no. And when you can see it in the springtime when it's supposed to be hot is the craziest part.
Yeah, that is cool.
Well, we've gotten some pretty good snow past couple of years. I know Kroll's seen a little bit of white.
Yeah, I've never been out there during it. I've been out there in the piss and rain when you can't walk more than 10 yards without having your feet weigh 5 pounds each.
Yeah.
That red mud is rough.
Yep. It gets in every crook and cranny.
Yep.
Yeah, because Hunter kind of hunts where we're at.
Okay.
I'm 10 miles north of Childress.
Okay.
Right on the Red River.
Yep.
You came up to the lease one time.
Yep, I did.
Real quick.
Went in there it was right before, it was opening weekend of dove season, I believe. Y'all had about 4 bus loads of guys and cooking steaks.
12 bus loads of beer, probably.
Yeah, and there was 14 dogs. One of them was sister at the time.
There was a lot of dogs.
There was a lot of dogs there.
I think that was Ribapalooza weekend. So Dakota. Ribapalooza.
I'm sponging again.
Dakota's over here sponging. He's just soaking it all in case y'all forgot who Dakota was on these podcasts. But he's here.
They might have forgotten who all of our are.
It's been a while. But so like Ribapalooza weekend is like deer season's over. We all had a working season, a working year, and we just kind of throw it down. Just a bunch of guys being
usually
guys.
Last weekend of duck season.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of everything going on.
A few people try to duck hunt, but usually don't make it. That's how the whole weekend goes.
Yeah, everyone's got a plan to pig hunt or just drink, and then maybe duck hunt.
Yep.
Sounds like a great time.
No,
it can't be a bad time.
Slew y'all out there?
What?
How many do y'all have out there?
We were on Toledo, me and Jackson, and we were doing good. We had 5 fish. We had like an hour and a half left, and it was one of those deals where we were fishing, and it just got calm, and then just one cold just front moved in, and then all of a sudden like the trees start bending back and
woolly stuff.
And we're like, man, we got to go, because our run back to the boat ramp was like 30-ish minutes if it was flat.
Yep.
And we get out in the middle of the lake, and whenever you're on Toledo, you got to stay in the boat lanes. And if you're not in the boat lanes, you're just bumping
They
stumps.
got buoy markers out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were heading back, and I kid you not, we were in the middle of a tornado. There's been 2 or 3 times that I've been scared for my life. One of them was on a boat, and that was the one time. We were just revving up, couldn't get on pad, and the waves were just spaced out so perfectly to where you couldn't do anything but just keep on chugging along. You couldn't see. I couldn't see from you to me, Hunter.
Yeah.
And that was rough. And you can't go bank because we thought we can go ahead and get in the lane and just get back. It took us like an hour and a half to get back to the boat ramp. We showed up on time for weigh-in, and we get there, and they're like, "Oh, we're giving everybody another hour and a half to get in." We're like, "Man, we could have kept fishing though." But no, that was scary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, scary.
Who was that guy that we got on the podcast was talking about his storm? Was that on Toledo with y'all? Best.
Oh, Nolan.
Okay, yeah. Was that on Toledo or is that
no? I think
Sam Rayburn? Maybe?
No, that was Toledo. I think because there was like 2 boats that capsized.
Okay.
During that tournament.
Yeah.
Freaky stuff.
Yeah. I've been on Texoma in a storm, and we were in a 21-foot bass boat, and we were just riding each top of the wave to right when you make the crest of one, you're watching the nose of your boat, another wave's coming, and right before that wave crashes over the front of your boat, front of the tongue, just barely makes it over, and it was to go across that lake. It's a river system lake, so to make it across is probably only 500 yards wide. I mean, from one point to another point, and it took us probably 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And we were
just clenched.
Yeah. Buttholes were clenched.
Yeah.
Clenched.
No bueno.
clenched. But that's always just also one of those reminders, right, where everything could be going good whenever you're on a lake or like even at a deer stand, and then all of a sudden, it's not good.
Yeah. Gets bad. Like those dust storms in West Texas. Woo, I've been caught a couple times in a deer stand, and I actually was asleep one day in the deer stand. I had this old 4x4 blind that laid down flat. You could prop your gun up perfect. It's like for long range shooting, whatever.
Yeah.
Laid down flat, fell asleep. I wake up just randomly, and I see my dad on top of this hill. Right, but between me and him was a canyon, and he was up like trying to see where I was at. And I finally got up and was like, "Oh, hey!" And just started waving. And I looked behind him, and it's just a red wall.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, this is about to be bad."
See, I haven't got one of those.
I've seen one time when I was headed out to the ranch one day.
Yeah.
And it was rough.
Well, what was it, 2 years ago? And so this older guy, he got out of his blind to look for a deer he shot, started walking, got lost, and died.
Really?
Shit, I know what story you're talking about.
Yeah, so
He died?
There's a lot of speculation.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot that was looked into it.
Yeah.
I think he was tied in with a well-known family.
But I don't know how much
money involved.
and we're not going to get like into that deep because I'm not going to, like, we don't want to talk bad about the deceased or anything, but like still
It's like a Clinton Hitler situation. Is that what we're getting after right now?
But the story is
Yes.
he shot a deer. He shot a deer.
He had emails.
And he walked to go find the deer, got lost, and froze to death.
Holy
And it
moly.
took him like 3 days to find him.
Damn.
But I mean, I always carry a lighter in my bag whenever I'm in the deer stand. It's just one of those things where I like to over prepare. I don't think I'll ever need it, but
Smoking six in the blind
Yeah,
or what? What's your-
Six inside.
yeah, that's a scent killer.
Yeah.
Marlboro Lights, Cowboy Killers.
That's what brings him in.
This is not a sponsorship.
Marlboro
Yeah.
Lights. You ain't from West Texas.
American Spirits Black.
I need them cowboy killers.
Cowboy Killers, baby.
Them red.
Nature's a real thing, and
And she don't play.
she don't play, and all of a sudden you can turn around flying down the lake, and that 250 show on the back ain't gonna help you.
It's amazing what those animals can keep up with, though.
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
sitting in a deer blind,
Yeah.
covered up with how many
Yeah.
layers of Sitka or Kuyu on with a buddy heater.
That turkey doesn't even have socks on
Yeah,
walking
yeah.
through that snow that
Yeah.
was strutting in.
Yeah, them deer out there are friskier than ever when it's cold. I'm sitting there trying not to move.
Yeah.
I can proudly say I've never used a heater in a blind.
Well, I
can
can't.
proudly say I have.
I can say I've used one every year.
I do have a little blanket in there. That I get.
Okay.
Oh, you
There
just
you
bundle
go.
up. There you go.
Whenever
That's
me,
cute.
whenever
You
me,
probably got the fuzzy Crocs too and everything.
no.
So
Whenever,
that's why Grace doesn't come with you because you don't have a heater.
Hey, whenever Grace was with me, she got snuggled up in that blanket of mine.
Oh, that's how you pull them in.
But
Oh, she had a broken foot.
Oh, that's how he. That's how
Grace
he.
is looking
That's
at
what
me
he does
right
it on purpose. Then he's like, "Well, we don't have a heater, baby.
climb
We're
the
gonna
ladder?"
have to use body heat. We gotta keep warm."
she had a broken foot.
You make her climb a ladder up to it?
I remember that.
She was climbing up a ladder. She was such a trooper.
Man, we got stands out there. You don't have to climb a ladder. I mean, what is your deal?
Dakota, whenever you're looking at some of the outdoorsmen we've been keeping up with, and after some of these conversations, what's one thing that you, as somebody kind of getting into it, really wants to go do? Besides, you can't say caribou because we're getting ready to go to caribou in Alaska.
okay.
That's gonna be so
Something
sick.
I want to do or something that I got realized?
A little bit of both. Shoot.
Yeah,
Shit.
a little cross.
Oh,
Cross
okay.
combo, cross
I'll do a little
combo.
combo. So what I've realized, it's a lot easier getting started than I thought. You just do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's just like, because I'm still quote unquote in that like gathering stage, more or less.
Right.
But I mean, it's not hard. Like, I'm fortunate enough to have a great group around me, like all y'all, to like take me on a duck hunt and take me caribou next year. But just like getting into that world's a lot easier than I expected it to be. The thing I want to do, I mean, we're going caribou hunting. I want to go moose hunting.
Yeah.
That would be That's probably my dream.
I don't.
And
got
to
enough
shoot a buck.
walls
I've shot 4 does in my life. I've never shot a buck.
Yeah.
So
All right. Yeah.
that's up there. Moose, definitely. I mean, Troy's been shooting black bears like left and right. That looks amazing on his.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel on a bear.
I don't know. They're just.
So I've seen whenever you skin out a bear, they look like a human.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh god.
Like a
that just
So,
makes my
no,
decision
that's great, yeah.
way
I've-
easier.
I've-
I don't want to do it.
I've never been jonesed up for a bear hunt either.
I've never been huge
looks
on
like a
bear
good-
hunt.
I mean-
Just because I wouldn't want to. I don't know if I'd eat it. You know what I mean? Because
No,
I've heard
that's-
you can cook it wrong and it'll
some
kill you.
people, Some people say it's great, and some people say it's worse than a damn tire.
I mean, I look at it as a humongous, oversized raccoon is what I look at it as.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wasn't
they
it
eat,
real
they
easy
eat
to kill you?
anything. Huh?
Like if you cook it wrong, isn't it just like
Yeah, it'll kill you.
you just
Apparently.
Really?
It's like
That's what I heard. It's-
neuro or something.
you just
I
because
don't
they
know. I
carry
could be
some
lying.
bacteria, something in them.
Yeah, if you cook bear
you-
wrong, it'll kill you.
Cook it under or
I'm
maybe
about to look it up. It's almost like pork
like
or something.
dead on
I
sight.
don't know.
That's weird.
Got to cook it above a certain temp or something.
I've never looked at it as an oversized raccoon. So thank you.
That's
for
a
that.
first. I like
It's
that.
what it is. Think about it. They
Yeah.
eat trash. They're always in dumpsters.
It's a big old raccoon.
Yeah.
I got an invite to go on a black bear hunt next year in North Carolina, the same place where I go turkey hunting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I might do it just to see how it is, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had a want to go do it
Yeah.
versus other animals.
Yeah,
Kind of like with the
Trichinosis.
that's
That's what it is. If you cook bear meat wrong.
really.
Yep.
What's wrong? What's considered wrong? Like not enough.
Very, very rare.
Yeah. So if
So
you just take
bloody.
a bite of a bear.
So you do
Yeah,
it like a
so
steak
bloody
in the
can cause, or causes can be fatal. That's what it says.
That's
I
terrible.
knew there was something to do with it.
All right, so you could fry it and be just fine. You can fry anything.
Yeah, I mean,
so, I mean,
we fry Oreos
yeah,
nowadays.
you can fry
so
anything, make it taste fine.
Yeah.
They're
You're soaking enough buttermilk for 2
I'm
or
gonna
3
cook you a
days, it'll
possum
be
next
fine.
time you're coming here.
I've killed some possums, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Possi. Is that
opossum.
opossum?
No possum.
You should have an S. Plural.
Have you eaten some possum?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I'll fry it for you when you get here. You said you
mean-
can fry anything.
Hunter's got some opossum in the freeze in the
Yeah.
deep freeze.
Been saving it for a good time.
Not
It
really
just
sure if
sounds
that's legal, so might need to crop it out. Not sure if
I don't
possums are
actually
legal.
have one, but yeah.
You can't.
I don't know if I mean
It's a varmint.
yeah,
right?
But supposedly they're like really good on like insects and like they
Eating
eat
ticks. Yeah,
Oh,
they eat
yeah.
ticks. That is cool. They
So
eat
they
ticks.
say like they're actually good for the environment.
Well, I'll tell you what.
feel
Arkansas
them
needs a
mosey around.
lot of possums.
Shit.
Dude,
Oh,
I mean, I walked.
North Carolina.
I walked 20 foot in Arkansas, and I've got 6 ticks on my legs. And one of them, I read, and I would have been really upset. It's got like a little red dot on its back.
Look, ticks can kill you.
And no, it'll
yeah.
make you allergic to red meat.
Lime's the Lone Star tick.
Yeah, Lone Star Tick.
Lone
It was,
Star Tick. That's the name of it.
It was on me and it was latched on, and I knocked it
know,
off
if-
real quick. And I immediately was like, if I throw up after eating a ribeye, I might as well just be dead.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure like once you get like Lone Star, like a tick bites you, and like you can't eat it for the rest of your life. I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it is.
It's not
a
like there's
lifetime.
no cure for it.
Right.
It's kind of like Lyme's disease. When we went to North Carolina this year, a buddy went with me.
Oh yeah. Tell this
He
story.
got
this is
so
crazy.
we were up there. We were up there for I guess we flew up there on a Friday morning. We hunted Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday.
This was a trip
and
I was
Monday.
supposed to go on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we flew back Monday night. Well, like, so we both, me and him both, get back Monday night. We both go to work next day, and he texts me like Saturday or Tuesday evening. He's like, "Hey, found a tick on me." He's like, "You might want to like check." And I was like, "All right, yeah. I haven't noticed anything on me yet, but I'll go check in particular."
Yeah.
Didn't find anything, and he's fine. He texted his cousin who's a nurse and was like, "Hey, found a tick on me, got it off. Like, what should I do?" And she was like, "Oh, like take these few vitamins. You should be fine." Well, so he takes the vitamins, and about a week goes by. He's feeling perfectly fine. All of a sudden, he wakes up one morning, body aches, headache, fatigue. Didn't really know what was going on. Took a sip of water. Well, all of a sudden, water just pours out half of his mouth, and he's like, "What the hell is going on?"
So it's like paralysis.
Like Bill's palsy.
I mean, it was like a damn stroke kind
Yeah.
of. So he went to the mirror, and like half of his face paralyzed.
Was it Bell's palsy?
Holy moly.
And his arm was like paralyzed. Like he was like,
Oh, his whole like half.
it was weird. Yeah.
Oh.
And like he said, like I think he said he walked to his truck and like was like gonna go, like drive to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And like as he was driving down his parking garage, vision went blur. Couldn't see.
No.
So he had to like park, call his roommate, end up going to the hospital. Well, he's in there and like they're doing blood work on him, checking him, and the doctor is asking him like, "Oh, like where'd you go?" And he's like, "Oh, I went to North Carolina." He's like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "What do you mean, oh shit?" And the guy's like, "Oh, well, like almost all ticks up in that part of the region carry Lyme's disease."
Can you imagine a doctor just saying like, "Oh crap," like, "Oh shit,"
oh,
like that's
God.
not like before he even like talks about what actually.
Oh yeah, didn't get his results back for like 2 days, but the doctor was like, "Yeah, like it's probably Lyme's disease. Not really sure, but probably is." Got his results back 2 days later. Sure enough, has Lyme's disease. So he got out of the hospital. Like he was in there for like 12 hours or so. Got out. Like a day goes by again. Same thing. Feels like shit. Couldn't drive. Couldn't see. Went to the hospital again. Was in there for like a night at that point. And
That's
then
insane.
like.
Well, what all does Lyme's disease entail? It's like long term too.
I think so. It stays with you forever,
Mm-hmm.
but depending on when you can catch it, like in the stage of it, all matters on what it's going to be like for the rest of
Okay.
your life.
like goes dormant.
So they say like the ones that are really bad that you find a tick on, you take it off, think you're fine until a year or
Well,
two
that-
goes
yeah.
by, and then it shows up.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
ain't good.
And at that point, you forget about a tick on you.
Yeah.
You have no idea. You think you're just sick, and you don't go to the doctor the first time.
It's a battle
Well,
trying to
then,
figure out
yeah,
what's wrong
so
with you.
it's a huge deal at that point.
You're stressing me out now.
Oh yeah, no,
I shouldn't have
it's-
shared
ticks
that.
Ticks are a real
Well, no,
thing.
like it's like, and that's why it's important for like people to understand. Like when you get a tick on you, because whenever you take it off, like if the head comes off,
Yeah, it's still in there.
it's still in there,
still-
and
yep.
then that's whenever it gets really bad,
Yeah.
and I don't know, like don't you like burn them off or freeze them
Yeah,
off?
I mean, knock on
Yeah.
wood. I've never had one on me,
Yeah.
but I've had to take them off
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
I've never had one.
Dude, and the
fortunately.
thing is,
Like
when you take
chiggers.
them off, it's like you can't just take them off. They grab your finger.
Yeah.
So like I took that one off, and it immediately just grabbed onto my finger, and I was just flicking that thing off and ran like hell. But they say you can light a match, then let it out, and then
Yeah.
just slowly put it on its butt, and it'll back itself out.
I've also heard
But-
you can get like a cap of gasoline
Oh yeah.
and like just put it. You don't have to pour it on your skin or anything, and you just put it next to it,
Put it
and,
next to it
and it'll
and
just fall off because of
Really?
the fumes. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's good to know.
No, I'm kidding. I just made that up.
Oh.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
I mean, it sounded,
Well, the only
I
reason.
wasn't gonna doubt it.
Yeah.
It sounded legit.
Well, the only reason I say that is there was a wasp nest one time, and
I was about to say, have
and-
you seen those wasp nest videos lately?
So they
were
put the
putting
cup
gas
underneath
in
it? Yeah.
And they just
Yeah.
drop.
yeah.
Like, I've been
Another
watching those
thing-
religiously on
I did that.
TikTok
I
lately.
did that in a
Yeah.
blind one time.
Yeah.
no, you got to get those the bombs for the blinds.
Dude,
Bug
I
bomb.
learned.
Just
I
pull
learned.
one of those bombs, open the door,
Throw
shut
it
it.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
done.
I learned something years back in Turkey. This farmer came up to me and was asking why I was buying all this wasp spray because all of our blinds were full.
Yeah.
Because some asshole left the windows open in every single one of them.
Always
Were
that.
you
person.
that
yeah,
asshole?
yeah, just that one
you-
person. No, I wasn't the guy.
Were
I
you
wasn't
the
the guy. Luckily,
Shit.
I wasn't.
Luckily, it didn't have owls
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, I know, and we've
Those-
had a
They messy
hell of a
it
mess
up.
with some
Yep.
owls.
Yeah.
But Dawn dishwashing soap. If you put a little bit of Dawn dishwashing soap in a spray bottle
With some
and then,
water?
and then
Just
fill it
mix
up
it
with
in?
water, mix it, they spray them. It coats their wings where they can't fly, and then they'll drown in it.
Really?
You just spray them, they hit the ground immediately, and they'll just sit there and move around for a few seconds or so, and then they'll just die.
There's nothing worse than getting in a blind, sitting down, and then all of a sudden seeing a nest up there.
Or
Just-
sitting down and you hear them,
Yeah.
and you can't
yeah.
find them.
Especially like early season. Too,
Super dark
Whenever
morning.
it's
bow
like it's
season type deal, or like early, like when it's still November, it's still kind of warm, and they're not too lethargic yet.
but it's like cold. Well, you get like mornings where you show
Real
up to the
cold,
blind and it's cold, and then it starts
Sun-
to warm
sun
up,
starts
Yeah.
coming up.
and then you start hearing like this buzzing around your ear, and you look up, and there's about 1,000 little dirt daubers and wasps just
Yeah.
make
I'll ask
that
this
make
question.
residence.
Have y'all ever experienced sitting in the blind, get in there before sunrise? Obviously, it's dark outside, deer season, cold. That sun starts rising, and it gets colder.
Yeah,
I mean, what is
Yeah.
the science behind that?
I have no idea.
I'm sitting
It's
there.
that wind picking
it's
up.
like either the wind or I've always thought about like maybe like I'm walking to the blind a ways in, my blood's flowing, I'm still
Yeah.
kind of warm, and then like it's just coincidence at the time the sun starts coming up, I get colder. Not
Maybe.
really sure.
That's that Texas weather, man, that a lot of people just don't know.
That don't make sense.
Yeah.
No, it does not make sense. It's happened every time I hunt.
Yeah.
Then you get like weekends where you're driving to the lease and it's 95, and then the next morning you wake up and it's 32.
Yeah.
It's like, well, glad I got my hunting box.
Yeah.
Or you're headed out there during almost May of turkey season, and it's been hot for 3 months straight, and then a cold front hits, and
Is it just me, or because this will make me feel better if somebody does this as well? I have a hunting box that has everything in it, from if it's raining, snowing, if I'm catching snakes.
you all got it
Or
in one box,
just
everything
one-
together.
one-
That thing's not. It's
Oh
not the
my-
size of a box.
Dude,
it's like
I-
a coffin.
All
It's
my,
as long as
all
this
my
damn
shit
counter.
is
It's my black
scattered
box.
from
Oh,
one
I'm
end to
scattered.
the other of the
I am the
house
most
and my parents'
unprepared
house.
hunter there is. Like, I think
Okay.
at this point, I almost think I like being miserable because I always
half your
forget.
shit
Oh, I
when you-
forget
yeah.
everything. But the only thing I don't forget is a gun.
Yep.
Like, I'm telling you, I will. I forgot a gun one time. I went. So we used to have a place in Turkey, and I was hunting in Turkey, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the ranch.
We're in Texas, Turkey,
Turkey,
Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Not
I
Turkey.
thought you were talking about the
country.
country of
No,
Turkey.
Okay, I just wanted to
sorry,
clarify
sorry.
that.
This
for
is
everyone.
news
Turkey,
to me.
Texas. Yeah. So we're in Turkey, Texas hunting, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the ranch, see what's going on down there. So I leave. Completely forgot my gun that was in the Ranger at the lease in Turkey. Went to the ranch. Luckily, my dumbass knows that there's a pawn shop in Childress, so I went straight to the pawn shop.
Bought a new gun.
I bought a 204.
See, this is a
That I just go on
die-hard
it. Yeah.
outdoorsman right
Yeah,
here.
I bought a 204, sighted it in within 30 minutes of buying it, and shot a porcupine at 500 yards with it. I was like, yep, this is my favorite gun now.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean,
Scope on it,
Scope on it.
just all ready to go.
Yeah, ready to
Just
rock and roll.
sight it in. That's
No,
it.
I had to. Yeah, I had to sight it in. That's it. And they had 2 boxes of ammo. That's all I needed.
two boxes.
Well,
Oh,
just
you
in
got to
case,
side it.
you
You
know,
got to
just in
side it in
case.
too.
Yeah.
All right.
But now in my pickup, I've got a shotgun, that 204.
Yeah.
I've got the shotgun 204
Ranch
and a
gun.
pistol,
Yeah.
just in case. You never know. I got
know.
short range, long
ready at a
range, and
moment's
close range.
notice.
Yeah.
I used to work for a taxidermist,
Yeah.
and our least favorite thing and his least favorite thing was when somebody brought in a porcupine to get mounted.
I
Are
can
you
imagine.
kidding me?
Dude, you got to take out
Each quill,
every
quill?
single quill.
Oh.
put it back.
I didn't
in.
think that
Yeah.
was a thing. I didn't think people
you
did
can,
that.
You can get anything.
Anything. Dude,
Taxidermist,
there's
anything.
people
Get their
that,
dogs.
that bring
I've
in
seen
their
people do
dogs
their
and
personal
cats,
dogs.
Are you
and
kidding
they get them
me?
mounted.
That's,
Yeah.
Someone's gonna do a cat?
I will
I-
never
oh
do
my
that to
God.
sister.
I wouldn't do it, but there's some people that do.
Oh
Yeah.
no,
I've seen people do it with
it-
dogs.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is that taxidermist has to sit there and skin out
Your dog.
a dog.
Yeah.
It's a lab. Just take out. Oh,
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Sister.
no,
Good
it's-
Lord,
yeah,
I couldn't do that.
But I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a different.
And you get
look
like
on
a
it.
Different
Yorkie
strokes
or a
for different
Maltese.
folks. Yeah. That is rough. I'm just, no offense to anybody, but I just couldn't do that.
I'd probably stuff my Shih Tzu. That'd be fun.
You want to
her
stuff?
forever.
You want to stuff your what?
Oh, Shih Tzu. Yeah.
I didn't know you were into that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
well.
It was a family dog. It's a family dog.
That yeah. See, I'm speechless.
Yeah. Yeah.
What-
Yeah.
It's a
Sometimes
little
I
hard there,
just-
man.
What's your?
I just can't hold it in sometimes.
That'd be your first mount. Is it your little Shih Tzu?
That would be my first mount. Yeah, Holly Bear.
Wow.
All right,
She's,
next conversation. next conversation.
You do any fishing?
I tried to. Like
Yeah.
we were talking about earlier at Cedar Creek. I fished in high school a little bit. Wasn't worth the shit, but
He wasn't good enough.
when I fished one tournament in college over at ULM, went up and fished Lake Dardanelle. It's a river system on the Arkansas River up in Arkansas. Awesome tournament.
Yeah.
Got to launch the river and put the boat to speed at about 80 miles an hour down current.
What do you run?
That time it was a nitro,
Yeah.
929 nitro with a 225 Mercury on it. Now we're running a Skeeter with a 250
Yeah.
Yamaha.
Yeah, it scoots. Little
It
show
scoots.
on the back.
What's up?
Well, Yamaha show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yamaha show on the back. It runs good. but I still haven't beaten that nitro speed yet.
Yeah.
But we were down current in the Arkansas River, so getting hit in the face by when it was raining
sure
felt like
y'all were
airsoft
cooking.
bullets.
Oh yeah,
It's rough.
I'm sure y'all were cooking.
We won high school tournament. We won the kind of like it's like a paintball mask basically. Whenever you're running.
Yep.
And that was in high school. Anything I won or just kind of. I didn't have a boat. I mean, I fished a lot, but anything I won, I would just sell. And so, like, I got that, and I sold it, and it was like the next tournament where
You were so good you could sell your trophies.
Yeah, no. That's the thing is you didn't get a trophy until you were top 3. I was always like up there, but not up there. But it was like the next tournament. I was like, man, I really wish I had this mask right now because it was just misting and you're just shooting down the lake. And
You ain't living till you're cooking across the lake and you get hit in the eyeball with a June bug. That's my favorite. Yeah, you're lucky if a fly hits you in the eyeball. A June bug?
That's kind of like grasshoppers out at the ranch. You're in summertime. You're driving around in a Polaris, no windshield on, and then things are rough.
You're going 60 mile an hour down a county road and it feels like someone just hit you with a baseball bat.
And some of them out there, 3-4 inches long grasshoppers. Those graveyard grasshoppers, I think is the name for them. Those things get
grasshoppers.
huge.
Yeah. They are
Great catfish bait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mr. Bayou boy, let's talk a little about catfish. A little bit.
I don't know too much about catfish. I've always wanted to go noodle.
Oh, dude, I can't. No, I just can't get myself to do it. I've been asked before, but I just can't.
I'm afraid, if someone reached their hand down in there and told me this is 100% a catfish, yeah, I'd do it.
Right.
But if I reach my hand down there and it's a damn alligator snapping turtle, that son of a bitch would take all my fingers off.
That's the thing. I know too much about what's in that water to stick my hand in a hole. That's the issue.
I always look back on it whenever like anyone brings up noodling. Whenever I was 15, 16, we'd go down to the Trinity just in DFW and just start sticking our hands
that's some nasty
in holes.
Shit.
Really?
Because I saw some YouTube videos. I'm like, I'm gonna go noodling, and I mean, you stick your hands in there and like you'd find some fish, but like
You could have found a body in the Trinity.
I'm looking back on it.
Dude, seriously.
I reach my hand down in there and somebody grabs it.
Yeah.
Welcome. No, I look back on that stuff and I'm like, why did I do that? I mean, that is, it could have been anything in the Trinity.
Yeah. No chance I'm sticking my hand in a hole
But it's
in
like-
the Trinity River.
We took a John boat down the Trinity once.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing I ever did. Well, back in my side of town where it's just,
Dirty Sea.
alligator gar, and one of my buddies had a kayak out there and smacked it with a paddle.
Yeah.
Like,
Kill it?
I don't know,
No chance.
there was like 5 of them. There was like
Those things
4 of
don't
them
die.
running out the kayak. He just smacked it. We were sitting in the back of the John boat. He's pulling us forward. I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Those things don't die.
We're getting
Unless
out
you got a
pulling it.
22.
Oh, no.
Those things just don't.
Maybe a 12 gauge.
Yeah, literally.
Something to mess it up.
I've caught a bunch of
I wouldn't mind
gar
trying a gar.
in Louisiana. We used to do a trip down at Pecan Island once a year for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. That was fun. Them dudes are a trip.
South Louisiana.
Yes.
Coonasses.
Oh, dude. And it was so much fun.
Yeah, that's
Dude.
them real southern
Yeah.
country boys.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was a time of life. I thought I could hang with the best of them, but not with them boys.
No.
I could not.
And Hunter
keep
can
up.
hang. Hunter can hang.
Yeah,
He-
and I couldn't. I could not keep up with them.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them guys that graduates with the graduating class of 3 people and started drinking at 7 years old.
Oh,
probably.
I mean to tell you, has a cup of coffee in one hand and a Coors Light in the other.
And
Y'all boys ready to get on the airboat?
Trying a Red Bull.
But
in his back
it was
pocket
more
as
like,
well.
"Are y'all get on the fucking airboat?" I was like, hell yeah, come on, sign me up.
Get after it.
Yeah.
Luke, so we talked a little bit about kind of how you got started, the quick switch to calling in a turkey and never looking back, a little bit of everything else in between. If there's like one thing you could kind of talk about, especially like with your upbringing on starting, give someone some advice to like get into it, like
Yeah.
what would that look like? Like what's the accessibility, or like where would you start?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure being in Texas makes it more difficult than most other states getting into hunting if you don't know someone, because the amount of public land in Texas is just not there. I mean, it is there, but the amount of people you have slam packed in Texas,
Oh,
I mean, you can't beat someone to a spot.
It's a big state, but it gets pretty small.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from the amount of hunting you got up in other states, up north and Midwest and stuff like that, it's thousands of acres up there of public hunting access. And down here, I think LBJ Grassland is probably the closest place to DFW that's like over 1,000 acres of public land. It's really, like I said, you can't beat someone there to go hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, I think definitely knowing someone is a huge part. Just getting friends to go out to their places or
guided trips.
Yeah, guided trips even. I mean, that's sometimes costs an arm and a leg.
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, I mean, getting the experience. Just to if you you like deer hunting, you don't know you like turkey hunting, go get a guided trip for turkeys and see if you like it and stuff like that.
Oh shoot, I feel like even I just joined random Facebook groups with
Yeah,
a couple thousand people in them, and I'm learning tons of stuff every
YouTube
day.
is a huge thing. I mean, I still watch the hunting public. I mean, every video they watch, I'll watch it. Give me information. I mean, you can never stop learning.
Yeah, well, it's like, and like to that point is on one of our previous podcasts, Hunter Crossland, he was on, and we did a giveaway. It really didn't get that much attention like we wanted, but still we committed to it and got a guy that he won the giveaway, and I think here pretty soon that he's going to be hooking up with Hunter, and they're going to go fishing, and if anyone that hears this and doesn't know where to start is like, we'll get you hooked up on. I mean, if it's a pond in DFW or a pond, like anywhere in Texas, we know enough people to link you up with somebody to just go fish.
Everyone knows someone.
Everybody knows someone. And that's the thing is it's difficult. It does get costly, but the hardest thing to do, and I think this just goes on a day-to-day basis too, is just ask somebody for anything.
Yep.
And
never be afraid to ask questions.
The worst thing somebody could do if you ask a question is just say no or not respond to you.
90% of the time, they're not going to say that.
And that's the thing.
In Texas.
Yeah, in Texas. But like still, like it's just, if you have an interest in it and you kind of want to get out there, just talk to somebody, right?
Well, you just gotta try.
Just gotta try.
I've been fortunate enough, God willing, but I mean, like I said, I joined random Facebook groups. I just ask you a question. You have 6 guys under in the comments saying, "Oh, this."
Yeah.
It ain't the hardest thing in the world, starting from ground zero by any means.
People
I mean, even
will
public land, it's cool because I
You can
started
meet people out there as well. Yeah.
I started duck hunting. First time ever was probably 3 or 4 years ago. Never been into duck hunting. Never really thought about it. And then my buddy was like, "Hey, let's go up to the LBJ grasslands. We know enough after all these videos.
Find the maps and stuff. Yeah.
And I was like, we'll just go try it." I was like, okay. So I went with him. He's already been once or twice, but wasn't, an expert by no means.
Yeah.
We go out there, and right as you pull in, there's a lot of friendly folk in Texas. You pull in, you stop, you look over to your right, and there's a group of 6 dudes having a campfire. Next thing you know, they're hollering at you, asking if you want a beer, as long as you're not the game warden. You're like, absolutely. And so you go over there.
No disrespect to game
Yeah,
wardens.
exactly. No disrespect to game
But
wardens.
that's what I was about to say too. Is like, you can call the game warden and ask, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm new into hunting
Texas
and
Forest
fish."
and Wildlife does a great deal
Yeah.
on giving all information that you can get.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like, "Hey, I'm new into hunting and fishing. I want to get involved.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start. What do I do?" No way a game warden is going to say, like, just piss off.
Yeah, they're
type
not.
deal. Like, their whole life. That's what I wanted to be, was a game warden.
Me too.
And that's, I mean, hey.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
same. And then my dad told me, well, you won't be able to hunt.
Yeah, that's what he told me. He said,
I was like, yeah, that's a fair point.
yeah. I was all for it until my dad said I'd be able to miss, or I was going to miss opening weekend every year. I was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that one.
I don't know if I can make that happen.
All right, so do we want to pop the question? I think we're getting ready to wrap
Yeah,
up.
go for it.
Now, first, I got a question.
Okay, all right.
So, wild turkey versus me getting a turkey leg at a carnival. What's the taste difference?
Oof.
Yeah,
I've never had a wild turkey leg, but I've seen people cook it. Definitely, I mean, it's kind of like the same thing with beef.
Okay.
Cows for instance, guy who owns our ranch out there, I asked him, like, hey, like, you ever process one of your own cows? He goes, yeah, I did. I was like, okay. I was like, pretty good. He was like, nah, it wasn't worth shit. It's tougher than a damn car tire. I was like, why you say that? Well, they're not having that feed and fat and protein. They're free range out there. It's the same with turkey. So they're free ranging, eating natural stuff, which isn't a bad thing at all. I mean, it's all natural, but they don't have that. They don't have the fat in them and the flavor. That's why when people sell their cattle, go to feedlots, they feed them up for a few months, only grain, just making them as fat as they could be. Yeah, it's fat's where they get all the flavor. So turkeys, I mean, you could definitely process a turkey like you could like a generic turkey you buy from the
like
store,
Butterball.
but I mean, it's just, I think it's a lot darker meat. I feel like, I mean, breasts are obviously white meat, and I mean that's what I do. I just de-breast them, fry them up. I mean, can't mess it up. Tastes like Chick-fil-A nuggets, basically.
Good
But
stuff.
turkey leg, I mean, I think I've seen a few people do them. They brine them, throw them in a brine for 48 hours.
Make little turkey bites and roll them around in brown sugar.
Yep. Yeah. Or fry them. You could bake them. Yeah, I've seen multiple different ways for the breast, but yeah, legs. I think they're just, you can make them good. If you soak something long enough, it's gonna break down the meat enough.
So Luke,
Here we go.
what's your why when it comes to the outdoors?
What's my why?
Why do you do it?
It's a good question.
It's a great question.
I mean, the easiest way to say it is that it gives me a high like nothing else.
Yeah.
I mean, not
Amen.
only the killing aspect, but being out at the ranch, hanging out with good people, obviously is a huge part of it. Working can be a bitch sometimes. It can be hot. It can be rough. But, I mean, it all goes into it, to just being able to sit there in a stand and watch animals in nature.
Yeah.
I mean, they're totally in their natural habitat. They don't know you're there. Obviously, yeah, you're doing a lot of the work getting them there, but it's a whole different level of seeing them work when they don't know you're there.
Yeah.
It is cool.
That's a great answer. And it's just a state of clarity whenever you're sitting there watching an animal that really lives against the elements.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying earlier, can survive in 0-degree weather when we're freezing there with the heater. And they're perfectly fine out there.
Yeah.
And you never know what's coming in either.
Yeah.
That's what my favorite part is. You have game cams and all that stuff, but you really never know what's going to come in.
Yep, that's
You could have never saw that deer 4 years, and
he
shows up
out of nowhere.
out of nowhere.
Yep.
Exactly.
Luke Thompson, everybody, the man that is just a turkey fool. We didn't even get into a team roping fella. He's kind of done it all.
That was a midlife crisis for my dad.
But thanks for coming on. I don't know, like you got an somebody can reach out to you if they
Got some plugs.
Luke C. Thompson on Instagram.
Luke C.
Go give me a
Thompson.
follow.
Yeah. All right.